G'day and welcome back to my channel. Now, look, in the last video I got lots and lots of comments and a lot of them are good, but one thing you said predominantly was you didn't like junk. No junk on my channel. Don't do any junk. Okay, no junk. I might build that kit another day, but no, we will not be building junk. But one thing that a lot of people said is they love my Airfix kits. They like me talking about them, like me building them, and like me doing all that sort of stuff. So yeah, okay, I can do that. One guy said he doesn't actually build models. He doesn't actually watch my channel. He just puts it on like a podcast and listen to it for the jokes. Yeah, great trick. Come for the jokes, stay for the glue sniffing. All right, I have an Airfix kit to share with you. Yes, it's what you wanted. You all asked for it. Well, a lot of you, couple, my mother, you know. The cat liked the idea, okay? So Blaine Basque, we're having a look at an Airfix kit, which I always enjoy doing, so I hope you'll enjoy it with me. All right then, let's get on with it. Roll the music. There you go. You want an Airfix? You're getting Airfix. Okay. Now, I picked up this kit. Actually, I picked it up during the plague. In October of the plague. It's one of those things, you know, sitting at home, not much to do, government putting money in my bank. Well, let's buy some model kits. Oh, Alfa Romeo, like them. Big scale, car. Yes. Old. Yes. Brilliant. And it's Airfix. Fantastic. Well, no, it isn't. Not quite. It's actually originally a 1970s Hella kit. Yep. It's sad but true, apparently, according to Scalemates anyway. I mean, would they lie to me? Let me know if you know better. But anyhow, it looks like a Hella had it. Then it was reboxed as a Humbrol Hella, you know, so it's sort of getting into that family. And then later on in the 80s, MA even had a go. I mean, this thing's been around more bloody traps in the town black. Yes, absolute tut. So eventually, in the 90s, 92, according to Scalemates, Airfix reboxes this and calls it their own. So, yeah, it's sort of an Airfix kit, sort of, but it's sort of not one they designed. But they did a lot of that. I mean, that you think it's a modern thing, reboxing. No, it's been going on since Adam bloody, basically grabbed the snake and shoved an apple up its bum with Eve. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So, let's have a look inside. Instructions look Airfix, that's the usual Airfix sort of thing. 0416. If you're counting numbers at home, you can do that. And it's got the usual sort of blurb. Oh, this has been stapled. So someone's probably got these instructions off the interweb and they've printed them out. But nevertheless, there's still instructions and they've double-sided printed it. So they've done a good job. So yeah, typical Airfix, by the numbers, the usual sort of bill. Put the motor in, slap the chassis together, whack some bloody bodywork on it, bit of a back wheel. What we got here? We've got a bit of wiring or something to do. Don't know. It looks like wiring. Either that or some strange bloody snakes going to this thing. Yep. Lots of Easter references going on here. And, some pipes and things and some lamps and a grill and there you go. And then you pop on, is that the canopy? Could be, something like that. Don't know what that is. It's sort of, it might be interior. Who knows? We'll find out. And then you get your usual basic Airfix instruction. 19, paint it red. That's it. That's all they give you. And whack a few knuckles on it. Yeah. We'll go through those instructions a bit more when we have a look at the parts. Now, I have never, ever opened this kit. It is sealed. Absolutely sealed. Look at that. Yep. It has never, ever had its cherry bust. No. This one is a virginal kit. So, let's pop those bags and have a look at the parts. So, first things first, the deck awls. Yes, you've got to have a good set of deck awls. And they don't look too bad. They're a little bit got a bit of sort of gunge around them, maybe a bit of mould or something. But it's not too bad. I'm going to put them in their own little plastic packet, and I might even put a little silica pad in there. I've got those which I use with the 3D printing. They help keep the filament dry, so they may suck any moisture out of that. Yes. You always enjoy a good suck when you have an Alfa Romeo. You really do. Yep, you do. Now, there are only, technically, 3 sprues, but the chassis, which is actually still part of, looks like sprue 3, that it had kind of snapped free and gone its own way. But it didn't do it in a bad way. Nothing was damaged. So that chassis is looking pretty good. Looking pretty good. And it's a good size. It's a good size. Let's get out the rule. And 15 centimetres. 15 centimetres. So if you're an American and you don't know what it is, it's probably like 2 Twinks bars long or something. I don't know. Something like that, you know. And this way, 6 and a bit. So about 1 Twinks bar. So yeah, 1 Twinks bar by 2 Twinks bar. That's not bad, is it? No, that'd take a bit of eating. Yeah. So it would make into a reasonable size model. That's a good thing. 124 scale is a nice scale to work at, especially when you're doing sort of old automobiles. Tanks and things is a bit big, but for cars, perfect sort of scale. So we'll trim that up and have a look at later. Of course, you got to have these things, you know, these cock rings, tires. What are you saying, Harry? Hope there's no little kiddies watching. Yeah. Do you monetize for that one? Yes. Yeah, they're rooster rings. Yeah. And they don't feel yucky. Like often if it's a really old kit, these things are sort of deteriorated. They're a soft sort of plastic. Oh, they're a bit sticky, as the actress said to the priest. But not too bad. And they're have they got the type of tyre on them? No. They've got the tread. Tread's all marked on them, so they're not too bad. I mean, some people go, oh, no, they're horrible. I mean, I could measure them up and 3D print some tyres, and they would look good. But we'll go with these first and see if they're any good. When I get around to building this, don't think I'm building this next week. You know, don't go, oh, looking forward to seeing the build. Well, you've been waiting a while. This is just a video because I've been crook all week, and I've got no time at all to work on the junk, because you didn't want the junk. No, you only said no junk. No politics, no junk. Yeah, apparently the two are the same thing, and you don't want either. Fair enough. No more junk. No more orangutan jokes. No. All right, so, yeah, you get 6 of those. So there must be, yeah, there's 2 spare on the rump of it, on its derriere. Chrome parts, well, they are super chromy. They're very shiny. A lot of people don't like that. To me, I don't worry about it. If it looks okay when I paint it, I might put a little bit of wash on. You know, I'm fine with that. If it's very thick and it ruins the scale of things, sure, okay. But these, they're okay. They look like chrome bits to me. You won't know till you build it, but, you know, I've built a lot of die-cast versions of these old sort of cars. And that's the thing. I know it's shock horror. Not that I show them here. I would have been burnt at the stake. You know, don't you dare show die-cast. They're not wrapped in plastic. Yeah. Who killed Laura Croft? Why would you destroy the Tomb Raider? Why would... No, it's Laura Palmer, of course. I know. And yeah, David, yeah, didn't like his directing at all. He had moments of brilliance. I'll give him that. But 99% of the time, I think he was off his medication. And I think everyone else was too scared to say anything otherwise. Sort of like Emperor's New Clothes. Oh, yeah, that's wonderful. Yeah, they were toadying, you know. Toadying to somebody because they too scared of losing their job. Anyway, when I do trim the parts off the sprue, I'll use my chrome pen. Yes, my little Molotov throwing chrome pen. Kaboom! Yeah, that'll rechrome them. Don't know about that? You have to watch one of my other videos, you'll see all about that. Now, we're into the red sprues. Yes, it's red, it goes faster. Although, I have seen photos online of these and various ways, and I really like a little chrome one. Oh, look, there's that piece. It was a canopy. But why would you put that on? You wouldn't want to do that. You wouldn't want to spoil the whole interior. It's a, you know, a car. It's an open top car, you know. Drive, be free. Get the wind in your hair. Well, I've got any hair, so I wouldn't do that. Get the wind in your bald spot. Yeah. I've had a few convertibles in my time. I really love them. They're a lot of fun. It's a bit exposed if you're in traffic around town. You feel very vulnerable. I mean, interestingly, I had motorbikes as well, and you'd think, you know, but a motorbike, I mean, you've got a big helmet on, you've got all that black leather, you look menacing. But when you're in sort of a little sports car and you're lower than everything else, I mean, people can just lean out their window of their big SUVs and scratch you on the bald spot. You feel a bit vulnerable. You really do, yeah. But I do love convertibles. I'd love another one. But who knows? Maybe I'll buy an old wreck and do it up in my spare time. Oh, that was always my dream, spare time. Not when you've got a bloody YouTube channel and a hungry cat, you've got no spare time. So look, I'm just sort of giving you a bit of a look. All right, instructions. And while I was pulling the sprues apart, sandwiched between the two red ones was the clear sprue. Of course, you need a clear sprue. So you've got your little windshield there, and you've got 3 lamps. Yep. And then I'm not sure what that one is. Maybe that's to go over the top of the number plate. We'll soon find out. Now, a dead giveaway, this is not an Airfix kit because, you know, even later on, in fact, the whole period of Airfix, generally the parts go together in the number order they are on the sprues, right? This was Airfix trademark thing. You started with part number 1, you went to part number 100, that was it. And so generally the parts were sorted together on the sprues. With this, the parts are all over the place, like a mad woman shit. And you start with part number 18, so it's not an Airfix kit. No, it certainly wasn't designed by Airfix. So part number 18 we find over here on the large red sprue, and it has its friend there, part number, is it, what is it, 14 or something? Yeah, they're not even bloody sequential. No, 14 and 18, they are your motor halves. And look, they're quite nice. Quite nicely done, you know. They're a good base. They've got a little bit of sort of texture on them, which is rather good. So you better put a sort of a metallic look on that. You know, dry brush it with some gunmetal. It'll be fine. So you've got that, and then you need a part, what is it, 21. Yeah, so 21's just there, so that's handy. And then you think you keep moving. No, it's not Airfix. Because Airfix, your parts would all sort of be here, roughly. No. You've now got to jump over to your other sprue, and you've got to find the pan for it. And it's here. Here's the pan. Yeah, part number 58. That's the pan. Okay, so all right. Okay, and then we're going to go to the well, basically that would be the clutch assembly, your clutch housing, is it? All right, so you've got 40, 45, and 20. Again, you're going to be jumping all over the place like bloody granny's underpants. So 40, yeah, well, would be here because this is all the big number sprue. At least all the numbers are on one sprue. It'd be pretty annoying if they also jumble the numbers, but it seems that for about the 30s onwards, they're all on this sprue, and then this sprue here only goes up to sort of like 30. So that's, you'll be able to find things that way. At least there's some clue to this. So there's a little sort of housing here somewhere. Here it is. Okay, and stuff is pretty clean. There's not really any flash. So you've got a few little pieces there. So you've got that. That's good. So you get that together, and then number 3 says build some wheels. What? Look, motor, wheels. No. Well, we'll probably go back to the motor later on. Yes, part 4. So really, quite frankly, if you're building this, you wouldn't do part 3 later on sometime, you know, after you had a cup of coffee or something. I mean, wheels are the sort of last thing you put on a bloody car. Of course, if it was a French kit, it makes sense. We need to lay the page out so it's all the same. You know, got that space here. What are they going to do with space? Grab that part from later on. Stick those wheels in there. They never notice. They look good. Yeah, it'll be very artistic. Yes. Yeah, bloody frogs. So, yeah, motor, and then we're going to put, looks like we're going to put the headers on. Yes, we have the top of the motor there. So that's also called the head. But the other bit's the exhausts. I believe they're called headers, aren't they? 33, so they will be on the big sprue. Oh, goodness me. Yeah, so you've got exhausty bits here. It's just exhausted looking for parts. You spend half your time looking for parts. Oh no, here it is. So that must be low enough 30s on that one. So, yep, there you go. So you're going to spend half your time jumping from one sprue to the other. I mean, your best idea would be to look at the whole page, everything that's needed for that particular assembly, cut them all off, put them in a pile, which you'd probably do if you're painting anyway, wouldn't you? Yeah, I would. Here we go, part 6. Oh, there's a little thing here. It's obviously going to be used later. This is very Hella-like. You know, things that you do which seem to make no sense, and then later on, magically they appear. I know Airfix kind of does that a bit now, but where are we? So 6 is there. So these are, there's actually quite a lot of detail to this because that's obviously a little pivot arm with the suspension. So you've got suspension here. So most of these bits and pieces, you'll be going back here because you've got to build your chassis frame. All right, so your chassis frame is a lot of parts, which is nice. So you build it up pretty well as they were. And I'd say it's a metal frame. I don't think they've got wood frames at this period. I really should do some more research on the car, shouldn't I? Let me know. I mean, I don't know what year this Alfa was out. It's probably pre-war, pre-World War II. Don't know. Let me know. So yeah, you've got your chassis rails there, and then you'll be putting in your differential here. what screws that on? I'm just getting lost with the job. So, yep, here we go. Here's your diff. Well, it's half of it. Did you get a bottom half to it? No. Well, that's a bit slack, isn't it? So your diff is like that. Oh, I see. It just probably mates up onto the... Yeah. Well, that doesn't make much sense. Well, they decided you won't see that bit. No, it'll always be hidden, right? Perspectively, you'll never see it. We don't need to mould it. There's no point in one of that. There's not bother at all. It's not in the final sauce, so we can leave it out. Yes, good on you, Hella. So that's a bit annoying. Airfix wouldn't have done that. Airfix would have made the whole thing. You would have the whole part, you know. They would have given it to you, yes. Spare no expense. Give them the whole lot. Because Airfix tried to be accurate because, especially in the early days, the kits were designed to teach you about things. It'll teach you how ships and planes and cars and things went together. So they would have included that. It's ridiculous. Ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. All right, so you build up all that. I won't go through every part, but we've got all kinds of drums and discs and brakes and things. It's actually, look, that's pretty good. Are they discs? I would have thought it was just drum brakes in these days. Maybe they are. Maybe they're just bits. Let me know. I doubt it's got discs. They would be drums, yeah, they look like little drum assemblies. Lots of little parts, little stuff, so it's quite well detailed. I'll give them that, even though it's a bit annoying, it's not sort of Airfix. But it's funny how, like your springs and things here, they're not moulded, they're moulded on, you know, yeah, it's different. Now this, 9, you've got to go hunting around, 3, 3, 3, 6. Hang on, there's no 9 assembly here. That's 9. It's forgotten. Lots of little black things here that usually means don't glue. I'm sure it does. I remember my Airfix hieroglyphics. Do not cement. Yep, do not cement. So there's lots of these. Do not glue, because they will be movable. So obviously the steering works. And at the back here there'll be some sort of... Yeah, it looks like the back suspension pivots up and down. So that's rather nice. Don't think we've got any screws. No, it's just on a little leverage there. Oh, that's good, isn't it? Torsion bar. So 9 must be used later on. 10, oh, here we go. Yeah, so again, we've got 9 over here, because again, look, yeah, we need somewhere to put this, and it didn't look as pretty as we put it in here. Even though there's a big white space. No, we don't want to do that. We're going to put it over here. It's nice, you know, 1, 2, 3, and we're going to put it down there. Imbecilic. So his instructions are very annoying. Very annoying. I mean, maybe they're Italian instructions. Yes, it's very much like Get Larry, you know, stuff all over the place, trying to figure it out. Getting halfway through the kit and they go, oh yeah, by the way, you need this part. We forgot to put it in. Yeah, well done. So you get to put together your body halves, the Roth chassis onto the body, and the body is all in 2 halves, which is going to be annoying because you're going to have a great big seam line. I mean, why we couldn't have had the seam line here, which is the natural join, which would have been connected. No, we can do that. So we're going to have this, you're going to have to glue that together, and then you have to putty it and fill it and try and smooth it out. Because, I mean, it's going to be right there in your face. So, yeah, don't know. That's a bit annoying. It's not, Airfix wouldn't have done that. No. So, yeah, that's very much there. That's, got a little boot flange there or something like that. Your dashboard, your steering wheel. Oh, they're all in here somewhere. I don't know, I've given up. Look around. Look around for yourself. I don't know, I'm sick and tired of looking around this thing. Here we go. Oh, there's the steering wheel. There you go. So the stuff's everywhere. There's the dash. It's over there. So if you have this kit, expect to have to do a lot of search and destroy. So you like the other one, collect all the parts first. You know, spend half hour trying to find all the bits, and then you can paint and assemble and everything. So looks like we've got some little, are they dials? Don't know, things. Who knows? And then, of course, those wheels that we built back in part 3, here they are, and they go in, and there you go. It all goes together. There's certainly lots of bits and pieces, and it is rather good. So from that perspective, do the doors open? Yeah. Looks like we have got open doors. We've got a hole. No, we haven't. No. So after all that cleverness, the doors are moulded in. So yeah, your steering works and your wheels balance up and down, but the doors don't open because, you know, basically some of these you just jump into the thing. Yep. So I don't know what that is. It's probably the ashtray. Yeah, so there's your two wheels that go on the back of the derriere, and they go right into the boot. So that's all wonderful. It's all very exciting. And then here is where we had those snakes. So you've got seats. The seats go in. Yeah, the seats are reasonably ordinarily. Yeah, you paint them up, do something nice for them. So I'm going to paint my seats blue. I think I'll do this. I'll show you that pic. I did all that. So at this point, you're just putting in a few last bits and pieces, and you're mating what is basically the chassis to the lower body and the cabin, and that all goes together. And that would be the radiator, which was the big chrome part we saw before. And finally, that engine we made back in parts 1, 2, not 3, 4 and 5. Yep, that goes in. And then there's all these little lines. I thought it was like plumbing, and I thought we'd be doing a whole lot of wiring, but no. This just sort of says this part goes to there, and this part. So it's sort of snakes and ladders. Yeah, bloody snakes. So there you are. So that's that. And I think we're just about finished after that. Is there? Oh no, there's another page. We've still got some things to do. So again, more snakes and just a few of the last parts that sort of go on. Your mufflers and yeah, your exhaust pipe. Yep, that's to go on there. They were, interestingly, they weren't chromed. They were, sick and tired of looking around this bloody thing trying to find parts. Here we go. That's there. So you won't have a chrome muffler in this. If you want a chrome muffler, you got to do it yourself. Yeah. Don't need the chrome muffler. There's no room on a sprue. I stick on the other sprue. It'll look pretty hard. And your lamps with your clear lenses and, you know, the chrome thing there. And finally, you put your bonnet pieces on too. So they're nice. Can we hinge those? Well, you could probably work it out yourself. You could work out a way to do it. So that's all very exciting. On the front windshield. Oh, look, you know. And then that is that canopy piece. But they're actually showing it upside down. Which is weird, isn't it? That's what had me confused. Doesn't very much confuse me. So it's upside down. And then they're telling you to put it on there. So you've got to follow all those little lines. So really you need a little thing here that goes, turn it the other way. I mean, there'll probably be some idiot like me that try and put it in. Go, hang on, it doesn't fit. Yeah. And then you can do it this way, which is what I will probably do. I'll have it rolled down because, you know, topless cars should be topless. Yep. Anything that can be topless should be topless. That's my rule. And again, yeah, we go back to painting guide and they say red. I'm probably going to go cream and blue as per the photo I showed you. Well, I hope you enjoyed that. And it wasn't junk. No, it's good stuff. Airfix kit. Well, maybe it's a Howler kit. But it was something interesting anyway to show you. All right, if you stayed this far, you know what to do. Hit those buttons. Yes, those buttons are chassis, body, and wheels, right? Yeah, especially the wheels. You hit the wheels button, this whole thing just rolls along. It really does. And you can always buy me a curry if you want some more of this nonsense. If you just listen to my videos like a podcast, you won't even bother shooting video. Might as well just do the whole thing bloody in my bed. You know, there's audio, just talking to a cassette recorder and pump that out. Be a lot bloody easier. Anyhow, enough of that. There'll be something else next time. Hopefully I'll build an idle kit. I don't know. We are coming up to 10 years on this channel. So I'm going to do something a bit different. It'll have models in it, but it'll be exciting and wonderful and podcast worthy. All right, that's it. Goodbye from Australia. And it's hooroo from Harry and Eddie. Cat doesn't make it into the videos anymore. She's too busy bloody napping. Look what she did. She threw up all over the floor.